Welcome everyone to today's class, Decoding Tech Jargon, making technology accessible for non-tech professionals. I'm Anara, and I'm excited to help you break down some common tech terms into simple everyday language. In today's world, technology touches everything that we do. And if you're not a tech expert, the jargon can feel like a foreign language. That's why we're here, to bridge the gap and empower you to confidently understand and discuss technology, whether it be in meetings, presentations, or everyday conversations. So let's get started by setting our class objectives. By the end of the session, you will be able to understand common tech jargon through easy-to-remember analogies, effectively communicate tech concepts in simple English to foster better collaboration, feel confident using these terms in your professional interactions. Let's begin by looking at our first tech term, API. First up, API, Application Programming Interface. Now that sounds complicated, right? But let's break it down with an analogy. API is like a waiter in a restaurant. You, the user, tell the waiter what you want from the menu, which is the application. And the waiter, the API, brings your order from the kitchen, which is the server, to your table. Simple, isn't it? In tech terms, an API allows different software applications to communicate with each other. It's a set of rules and protocols for building and interacting with software applications. So, next time someone talks about an API, think of a helpful waiter facilitating communication. Now, as a practical exercise, turn to the person next to you and take turns to come up with more examples of things that act like API in everyday life. Time yourself for 2 minutes and see how many examples you can come up with. Next, we have algorithm. Sounds intimidating, but here's an easy analogy. An algorithm is like a recipe in a cookbook. It provides step-by-step instructions to solve problems or perform tasks. In tech, an algorithm is a set of rules or instructions given to a computer to help it perform tasks or solve problems efficiently. Just like a recipe guides you to bake a cake, an algorithm guides a computer to perform specific tasks. Let's imagine we're making a sandwich. What would the algorithm or recipe for making a sandwich look like? As a practical exercise, write down the steps on a piece of paper. Now let's talk about cloud computing. The term cloud might make you think of something distant and fluffy, but it's really quite practical. Imagine storing your files in a digital locker in the sky that you can access from anywhere, rather than keeping them on your personal computer. Cloud computing refers to delivering services over the internet, like storage, processing, and software, rather than relying on local servers or personal devices. So think of it like your online storage unit, accessible anywhere, anytime. If you have ever used Google Drive, Dropbox, or iCloud, you've experienced cloud computing in action. Big data sounds overwhelming, but let's simplify it. Think of big data like a massive library of books, but instead of reading each one, you use a computer to find patterns and trends in the information they contain. Big data refers to extremely large data sets that traditional data processing software can't handle. It's all about analyzing vast amounts of data to find patterns, trends, and associations. Think of an example where analyzing lots of data could be useful, like predicting customer behavior or spotting trends, and share your thoughts in the comment section. Blockchain might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but let's break it down. Picture a digital ledger, kind of like a bank statement that records transactions. Each page or block is linked to the previous one, making altering past entries nearly impossible. Blockchain is a decentralized digital ledger that records transactions across many computers, so that any registered transaction can't be altered. It's like a chain where every link is verified and secured. Any questions on how blockchain works or where you might encounter it? Share your questions or thoughts in the comments below. Let's move on to encryption, another term that often sounds complex, but is actually quite familiar. Think of encryption as, well, a secret code that scrambles data. Only someone with the right key, like a decoder ring, can read the message. Encryption scrambles data into code that can only be deciphered with the correct key, much like writing a secret message that someone with the decoder can understand. Let's try a quick encryption exercise. I'll give you a simple code to decipher. Ready? This message is encrypted using simple Caesar cipher, where each letter shifted 3 places up the alphabet. Your task is to decipher it. Take a minute to figure it out. Did you get it? Leave your answer in the comment section to find out. Now let's talk about firewalls. What comes to mind when you hear that term? Think of a firewall as a security guard at the entrance of a building. It checks and controls who gets in and out. A firewall acts as a barrier between a computer, network, and the internet, monitoring and controlling incoming and outgoing traffic to protect your data from malicious activity. Who here has antivirus software or a firewall on their computer? Raise your hand in the comments. Finally, let's decode UX and UI, user experience and user interface. These terms are often used interchangeably, but they're quite different. Think of UX as the feeling you get when driving a car, like comfort and ease of use, while UI is the dashboard and the controls you interact with. UX refers to a user's overall experience when interacting with a product or service, while UI is the specific interface elements like buttons, icons, and menus. Together, they create a seamless and intuitive experience for users. Do you know any of the great app interfaces? Drop the name of the app and comment about why you think it has a great UX and UI. Today we've taken a deep dive into tech jargon, using everyday analogies to make complex terms simple. From APIs to algorithms, cloud computing to blockchain, encryptions to firewall, and UX UI. Remember, the goal is to make technology accessible. With that, our video comes to an end. If you've enjoyed this session, please like and share this video with people you think could benefit from this information. Don't forget to subscribe if this information is something that you would like to see more of. Stay curious, keep learning, and remember, tech is for everyone.